Today we're going to go over the dumbbell snatch. The dumbbell snatch is a great regressed version of the barbell snatch, which is a really good Olympic lifting exercise. You'll see the dumbbell snatch or the barbell snatch a lot in competition settings and in WODs. So we want to make sure that we are really effective when we do this movement, and we're doing it efficiently as well. The first step is to get our foot positioning. We want to make sure that we are straddling that dumbbell, so it should be between our feet. And then our start position is that of kind of a squat. So we shoot our hips back, bend our knees, and come right down to grasp that dumbbell. We always want to make sure that that dumbbell is relatively in line with our midfoot at the bottom of our repetition. That way, we have less horizontal deviation, and we can keep that load closer to the midline of the body, making it a little bit lighter. The next thing I want to do from here is I always start without the dumbbell with my clients to make sure that you can get the movement pattern down and get those biomechanics before you load up. So the first step, we come down, we're going to go into what's called triple extensions. We're extending our legs, driving that pelvis forward, we're coming up through our toes and shrugging the shoulder. That is the first movement. Very similar to a barbell snatch, but we would call that the first into second pull into triple extension. So again, we come down, we're coming up through the toes, pelvis forward, shrugging that shoulder. We want to make sure we have a lot of explosive power with the pelvis every time we come up. That's where we're going to get a lot of our power exertion from. So really explode with the pelvis as you come up. It should always feel like you're jumping. From there, after our triple extension is done, we're going to go into the high pull. Very important when you do this high pull position that we have our elbow bended more outwards and not backward. That's again going to keep that dumbbell tight to the midline and make sure that that load isn't heavier than it needs to be. So I'm up through my triple extension, I've got my shrug, and then from there, I'm going to high pull up, leading with that elbow, bending up and out so that dumbbell's nice and tight to my body. If I were to bend it backward, that dumbbell's going to come out here, and that's going to make that load a lot harder to move. So we have our triple extension into our high pull, and then from there, we just have the turnover. The turnover is going to be going from that high pull position with our knuckles facing down to full extension, knuckles facing the ceiling. For a lot of people, it helps to think about this movement as how would you do it if you were to throw the dumbbell into the sky as far as possible? You wouldn't just go up like this. You would fling it up nice and high. So when you're doing that turnover, you need to have a lot of power, a lot of force production all the way through that movement. Don't break it down. Make sure you go quickly, leading with that elbow. So let's do it with the dumbbell now. Come on down. We come up, triple extension, high pull, and then our turnover. Here it is all together to the top. Now, of course, you can do this landing with a bent knee into our power position if you like. All that means is once we go through our triple extension, we come up on our toes, we're just going to do a nice little stomp and land with a bit of a bent knee. So that version looks like this. And of course, you can do it squat style as well, dropping your bum down even lower off triple extension into a full squat. Just like that. Now again, you'll notice I'm trying to keep that dumbbell as tight to the body as possible. That's going to make things much more efficient as I go through that range of motion. Now the next step from there would be to switch hands. So as you come down, you're reversing that form, and as you pass your eyes, or once you've passed your eyes, you can switch hand, dropping it into your other hand to go down. Now as we come down, we want to touch the ground with the dumbbell in between each repetition. So that looks like this. I come up, and then I come down, tap, other side, tap, other side. So I'm essentially dropping that dumbbell into my opposite hand to make for a nice fluid transition. And that's going to allow you to get those repetitions done even faster than pausing on the ground and switching. It's also going to prevent any unilateral tightness from occurring. So oftentimes we'll do one side for 30 reps, and then you'll just explode through that QL and those lats and the shoulder. So this allows you to have some good, even balance between your left and your right side so that you can go for a little bit longer and you don't fatigue out early on one side. So put all those movements together, your triple extension, your high pull, your turnover, your switch, tap, transition, and you'll have a really great movement that you can utilize in all your workouts.